Hello? Hello? Hello, Rickwell? Dude, YouTube did this stupid thing again where I can no longer read the comments. Tells me to verify my identity. So whatever you're gonna comment on my YouTube videos, I will not be able to read it. It's really dumb. Hello, Mimoski. I was working on this off stream. It is mandatory, Samuel. Once you are subscribed to the channel, you no longer have the option to leave. How did I slim? What do you mean? What did I slim? Hello, Society of Rats. Since you were 12, that's a long ass time. Unless you're like 14 now. You basically grew up with my channel. It's crazy. Dude, I'm having some pretty bad wrist pain. Maybe I should take some time off away from the PC.
Off topic, but my brother's cat ran away like 2 months ago and I just found out they just managed to get her back yesterday. Can we get a shout out to my brother's cat?
Yo, that's nice. Shoutouts to your brother's cat. I'm glad she came back. We're gonna finish the crabs today. I was doing so much refactoring work over the last few weeks. Holy shit. I started here, and I went through all these files, all of this stuff. I didn't do audio yet because I have to hope that Sauron is gonna look into some of that. I did all these files, I did all these files, I did all these files, and I did all this stuff, except for Mario, of course. There's no point in refactoring him. And now I'm on the last few files. I'm on sound init. Look at that. It's the last 10% or so. I'm so close to being done with it. Oh my god. What do you use for wrist support for coding? Nothing. I found so many neat little improvements while refactoring all the code. The code is a lot simpler and straightforward now. Way better. We're also done with beta testing for the first 10 courses now. Except for the 2 that are still getting a rework from Bioback. They need a little more testing, but they already have the preliminary tests done. So soon the beta testing for this game is done. Right now I'm testing course 11, which was already tested before, so I'm sure it's fine. And then after that, it's course 12 time. And course 12 really needs some testing, because it sucks ass right now. You saw the clouds change color. That's bad. I also don't like this instant transition here, but that's just what water is going to look like, inevitably. I don't play Mario 64 ROM hacks because Mario's base for musics are really frustrating to work with, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to hate your hack just based off the fact that it's a Mario 64 hack, regardless of what you did, honestly. Alright, let's find out why the big crabs aren't here. They probably just have a thing. That makes it so they don't spawn if you've collected their star already. That's what I thought. Alright, we're going to disable this for a second. So, our mission right now... Oh my god, I keep opening the wrong ROM because of muscle memory. No, 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 stop. So we're probably going to finish the crabs today. That's not going to take long. Basically, there's these 3 crabs here. And they're gonna lock the fish out. Everything that's missing now is to make it so that they lock the fish out. Then after that, we're gonna do the Yoshi houses. And then after that, we can probably start inventing a system for dialogue trees for the Yoshi NPCs. And by dialogue tree, I don't mean like you're gonna have an extensive dialogue with them, but rather the dialogue they display is going to be dynamically picked depending on your progress in the game. So we can make it so that if you have certain stars collected, the Yoshis have a different text, or if you have a certain amount of stars collected, or certain events happened. We can add a whole logic thing to that. But first we need the fish over here. Let's see how we can do that. It is still not displaying. This is extremely concerning. What the hell? You're Mario 64. I mean, what? How do you define can and how do you define speed run here? Should I pick normal so you can have lighting but exclude at the same time unless you already have it or you don't want it? It sometimes exists in some place. I would like to see my treasure. Should speedrun 16th star? Why? What do you mean by should? God, I sound like Jordan Peterson. But I promise it makes sense that I'm asking these questions. Any OST wishes while we wait for Blender to load the materials in? Can't believe it took me over 10 minutes just to get started on work even. What the fuck? Load the materials! Where are my textures? Okay, we can do some built-in OST. Why is the first YouTube recommendation We Are Charlie Kirk? I promise I have not listened to that song. We want to build more signals again, but me realized there's just not much to place in, so they need to blame out the geometry and setting. Well, it's very easy to make Mario 64 levels that are like mediocre but still fun. You can just put shit together and it's going to be some kind of... I see a texture! I see a texture! It works! Oh my god! It's loading the textures in! We can start working! Society of Rats is Charlie Kirk. Me personally, I'm not. I'm glad it's working out for you though. Okay, let's just place a static object here then, and that's where the fish are going to spawn. Well, you have a fuzzy render option in Blender. It's supposed to render faster than Eevee, and it does. And it's like an N64 renderer that supports some things that render closer to N64, and it's supposed to be faster. Unfortunately, it's not quite working. Okay. Stars for perhaps to maybe 55 stars. Okay. Let's make a function should crabs exist. But crabs exist. Can we Blender? No. Well, I mean, yes, I can. It's the goal of the fish to just not approach past the giant crabs, or for the giant crabs to snip their claws at a fish when it gets close. The crabs are just going to be bullying the fish. And the fish are going to be outside, basically. Oh no, it's not you getting married, it's the womp getting married, or the womp. Sorry, never mix up womps and womps. Biggest mistake of my life. Are these fish numbered through B parameters? They're not, so I actually can't use this. Does this function exist, or did I just make that up? What the fuck, how's it called? I have a function that returns one actor that has the thing. Find any actor. So their face angle needs to be around 0. Do you know who made the Luigi voice from Discord? The one that I posted in the RTY channel? Yes, they damned it to me. I forgot the name though. The Fast64 renderer is public. You can get it on the Fast64 Discord. And you call them actors instead of entities. Unreal Engine. It's because my day job is programming in Unreal Engine. You know what, I'm gonna just make up some bullshit math, something like... I just need them to be in consistent positions. No, they wouldn't send me one. I asked them to send me one so I can get it tested beforehand. And I did pre-order one the day pre-orders opened, but they have just not sent it off. And I think they have a good reason to. They know that I'm gonna test it and I'm gonna tell them, hey, your marketing's nonsense. I wanna be very clear when I make the video. The people that worked on it, they're really cool. Like, what they did is cool as hell. The people that market the product, fuck them. They're just lying to you. I have heard of Smooth McGroove. I might have to cheat in some stars here. I have 18. Okay, I need more. When you start 60. Okay, autograph spawn. The crabs are not spawning because I already have that star. I forgot about that. I don't think I can just remove that star using my menu. Could be this anyway. Yeah, so we already know that Hail to the Dongle's repeat mode demo does not work on the analog. Which means there's an entire mode of writing bytes that is not implemented on it. So for 100% accuracy, no. Big no. They don't do shit. What the hell? Fische! True. Can catch a stream in like a month. Dang. Welcome back, Crane Timo. Dude, I think the analog 3D might be my big break into YouTube drama. Maybe if we don't allow the Warcraft here with their step. Both Cream Team up. Hello, Sauron. Rare to see you in chat, but welcome. Hello, Tiny Man. What is your stupid question? You guys made it any faster now? What, any faster? The game? It gets faster every day. Just wait. I will show you my GitHub repository, what I've been doing. I've been going through all the Mario 64 code and refactoring all of it. I'm around 80% done now, I would say. There's like 20 minutes ago, 4 hours ago, and 500 changes. Well, I guess some of that is level, but like, and this is while I have work days too. We're doing a lot of stuff. Some content is hidden, I don't know what that means. Yep, we're making good progress. How does the bomb having a roundabouty despite having a lower resolution? Smarter fixed function pipelines, aka primitive shaders, aka... Nah, that's not what they're known as. I don't know, I don't want to call them fixed function pipelines because that's a long word and a mouthful. But I also don't want to call them shaders because then people will get upset with me. So what should we call them? There's something setting the action outside of what I permit. Ah. They're not shaders, exactly! But what can I call them? I'm not saying fixed function pipeline every single time. RDP settings. That kinda means nothing to the people though. If I try to talk to someone who's not an N64 enthusiast and I say, here's some good RDP settings to render a triangle with, or we set up these RDP settings to try and set a triangle with, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is an RDP setting? Combiner? Well, it's not a combiner, because the combiner is just a part of it. Matrix multiplications, yeah, the matrix multiplications are closer to a vertex shader? Make up a new word? Okay. How about shaders? We spell it with a C. And people are just going to assume it's my accent. And then when they correct me, I'm gonna be like, actually, I'm talking about shaders. They are fixed function pipelines. They're RDP settings. Call them shaders and accuse everyone who complains a loser purist. Then they're gonna be like, cases spreading misinformation, this man is dangerous, get him off YouTube. Okay, there's no way should crab exist returns false, right? Fader? No, that sounds like it's fading something away. Oh, how are the fish being set to action? What? Is there something act on and behave cloudfish maybe? No! Am I literally insane? What is going on? So I started testing Oily Boily Bay today. Unfortunately there was a crash, which is why the level couldn't be completed. But so far, I think it's the best level. Now the action is 0. The action is 0 even though I set it to 4. How could this be? S8 can't be corrupting because I have an assert for S8 to not corrupt. S8 stores O. We have 2 slots and not the older one is safe to load. What does that mean? How do you handle the eventual save data corruptions? Now do you use autosave in the game? Oh! Honestly, I don't handle anything. Wait. So S8 does corrupt? I can just set it to 4 and that's fine. Wait a second. I need to move that out of my build folder. That also works. I think this function corrupts O. Somehow. I have no other explanation. Because it also doesn't move them to the target position. Infinite stupid questions? No. Did you pay points to do that? Wait. Now it sets to action 0. Is it in the no OS codes to avoid overhead and get rid of Nintendo code? For sure I'm interested in that. There's a lot of stuff I haven't refactored yet because KakiDev was actually rewriting a lot of the Nintendo Lib Ultra in his own way completely. I think he's just doing this off of nothing. So that's what I'm looking for before I write my own scheduler and stuff. Because that's going to save me a lot of work, and I do have to be time efficient here. It looks like this loop is what fucks it up. Oh, fucking obviously. I'm stupid. Fuck. I should have opened my eyes. Yep, correct Unidef. I also just noticed that. Okay, so the fish do get placed here. 5 of them. The rotation is not what I wanted. Do I have to set the face angle jaw? Yeah. Weird. But I think that's correct then. Mrs. When I said I have been making a NOAA's. Oh shit, I did miss that. Wait. Yes, I'm absolutely interested in that. Okay, sounds very exciting. As long as it can handle all the same things, then that would solve all my problems. And even if it can just handle a few of the things, then, like, yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to look into that. I have to admit, I haven't really bothered to understand every little thing about the Lib Ultra operating system. Like, I understand the hang of it and most of it. So, because I was waiting for KakiDev's thing. So I'll probably have to look into that first before I understand what your NoOS thing really means, because that's such a big leap. But right now, in my position of relative unawareness of what it really means, I'm thinking it's probably a very, very good idea. Fish move factor. That's a good variable name. I'm not accepting complaints on this one. My random function is not yet deterministic. I was thinking of, since it's always the same assembly instructions, of giving speedrunners a button combo that they can hold input, something like LRA start, you know, like the Smash Bros thing, where if you hold this at the beginning of the game goes over the entire game's memory once and makes it deterministic. There is, wait, what? What did I do? My joystick doesn't work anymore. It's a C button. This is some weird emulator thing, right? That has to be an emulator thing. That has to be an emulator bug. My joystick is suddenly the D-pad. They swapped. Gamepad Y minus axis? Is this the Mayflash adapter? It was the adapter! I just found a button combo on my Mayflash adapter where if you press it, it swaps the D-pad and the joystick. What I mean is no threats and no protection on access to the hardware. So I'm trying to written using only K0, K1, so there's no context save and restore. Okay, well I will have to add the context save and restore though, because I have threads. And I kinda need threads. I mean, it sounds like it has a lot of very useful hardware communication functions that I will want to use either way. Is Junior be in the sec? No. Okay, this is about what we want for the fish. Except those two are still stuck inside each other. So we need to use a slightly different scrambling. See what I can do without threats? I think I want to consider no threats.
Good morning, Kaze. I have not forgotten that I must be kind to you forever from that point on.
Thank you, Kaki
It is my sworn duty to not be evil to
I
you
suppose
anymore.
it depends how you define the word threat. To be like, we can do things without threat. Because I do need my gameplay thread to run at 30 FPS always. And I do need my graphics thread to run independently of that. Making game work with direct hardware access. Yeah, I see. Well, I'm excited for it either way. It sounds potentially very, very interesting. Okay, let's try another scrambling, something like Payload 4 and Payload 3. Maybe this might be better. Who is writing me? Oh. Yeah, because people were asking earlier about the analog. Let me just show you what Hail to the Dongle is doing right now. He's writing these elaborate test case ROMs. And he just pinged me for this. He asked me to test this. So there's this one test case here where it checks the hidden bits, and if the hidden bits are there, then the legally distinct Joshi tells you that you have 1 megabyte of extra RAM. So we're gonna test if the analog 3D has this one. It's gonna be very funny in the video. Fill mode triangles. Basically you can make fucked up triangles like this that are currently not emulated correctly on RS at least. This is going to be slightly less visually impressive if the analog does not do this, but one cycle new sync, I don't even know what this is. Is a very fucked up rendering method, I assume. Fill mode syncs. Interesting. RDP test mode.
Does Red run on analog 3D? Let's see in this episode of Kaze Emanuel's ROM World Delight.
I want to test the performance on the analog 3D to see if it's like close to the real thing at all. Because that's the most important part. These test rooms are so cool. Or align VI scale. Oh my god, that's a cool effect. I didn't know this was possible. And VI Pong. I see. So it's not emulated here. No, emulators are tested. If you're evil, yes. Get a summer card if you do. If you don't have one, that is. I do have a summer card. The summer card is so much better than the EverDrive, and I love using it. Did you say to be deterministic? Like I said, it's going to be deterministic if you hold a specific button combo. Okay, that's a good fish scrambling. We can go with this. You like the koi textures? I have a whole pond full of goldfish, so I know how they look. Yes, you should sell your EverDrive and get a summer card. It's cheaper and better. Use a non-emulatable graphical effect in your thing. The thing? Sorry, did I miss the message again? Or is the thing purposefully ominous? Or do you mean by the thing your threadless hardware communication uses graphics effects? No, these are not AI generated, they're procedurally generated. I think that if you set the blender to read from the frame reference cycle 0, reads the next pixel, use that to shift over the frame of pixels for an effect. Oh, I see. I didn't know it that read a pixel wrong. I thought that was only a cycle 2 thing. Or, well, cycle 1 thing. You're running AI on the Nintendo 64? I did run AI on the Nintendo 64. I had my N64 train a Mario AI for 2 days and then it crashed. And the Mario AI actually got pretty good at collecting stars. Unfortunately, I can't show you because it crashed and I didn't have any save functionality. But it was cool. Unfortunately, it never got so good that I wanted to show it off, really. That makes sense, Sauron. Yeah. Oh, you did BuzzFeed Redemption thing install it? I can't see the Twitch chat. Let me check that. Maybe we have to do a BuzzFeed quiz here. 1 second. We might have to do a small detour for a big Twitch chat message. Oh, where would I be sending the BuzzFeed quiz link for the channel point redemption? Discord or Twitch chat? Oh, that's up to you. So you haven't actually redeemed it yet. How you trained it? Which inputs you trained? It trained by itself entirely. It's like an evolutionary algorithm. It's just a random generated one, and then it checks how good it is, and if it's good, then it gets to reproduce. Yeah, we got this, and now we need to make it so that if the crabs disappear, then they die. The thing Seth think of a Mario World, did I get a go? Yes. But of course, Mario World is a 2D game, so that is significantly easier. And also I'm running it on the N64, so that's even cooler. Of course, Luna. That's a bunch of things, and takes mutexes and generally writes to RS pages and then sketches callbacks and stuff. Okay. No, it doesn't. Ah! The game would not crash from that. Please get a new username. Oh, you redeemed it and you pinged me in the Discord? Okay, 1 second. It's BuzzFeed quiz time. Alright, I'm sorry guys, but we're gonna get slightly sidetracked here. And we're gonna find out whether I'm Wallace or Gromit, because someone redeemed the points for it. Land on the Moon, what kind of cheese would you hope it would be made out of? I don't know what any of these are, but I think cheddar is the least disgusting. Is a granny hobby you'd like to do with Gromit? Baking, knitting, playing chess, cutting. Definitely chess.
Can you train the AI on the N64 with more parameters? Use a 9th bit for 2 weeks and record it all to a 2 TB HDD.
No, Karki, let me alone. Pick a British biscuit for tea time. Custard creams, digestive bourbons. I don't know what any of these are. Custard cream sounds disgusting. All of these sound disgusting. What is the digestives? Is it like candy that helps you poop? Oh my god, how many questions are there? We're gonna observe nature. A Wallace invention? He makes inventions? I'm taking the auto chef. A rainy... Oh my god, why are there so many questions here? Oh, okay, never mind, we're almost done. We're almost done. Okay guys, we're almost done with this. Jemmy Dodges, I don't know what that is, but I did know you were British and you kept denying it. Digestive biscuits are really good, I'm not gross at all. Oh, they're biscuits? I'm not a biscuit fan, but I made my choice already. Jigsaw's reading in complete silence, watching documentaries, organizing and heading up. I prefer to read out of all of these. Pick a mode of transportation. Bicycle, public transport, steam engine. I'll take public transport because you can get shit done while you're on transport. Cereal breakfast. Full English, I don't know what that is. Toasts, black coffee, crumpets, porridge, tea, nothing else. What's a full English? That's eggs and bacon, right? I think I'll take that. Choose a job for a day. Running a business model, need something with my hands. Consultant, inventor, researcher, mechanic, or engineer. I only have to do it for 1 day? Probably be fun to look at this. Observation of penguins, delightful. Keep my distance. They're fascinating, quirky, they seem harmless. They're quirky. Knitting pattern. I'll take the jumper. I'm Wallace. There you go. You've got your wish. I am Wallace. Eggs and bacon and baked beans and toast and tomatoes and mushrooms. It started good and then it went worse and worse with every new ingredient you added. Alright. We need to do this. We probably wanna... add this, because I feel like that's a dangerous thing to not have there.
No
Then
shit. Replay. SHIT. Causes Wallace literally what did you expect?
I don't get it. So the crab with the marker beacon will activate all the fish. I need to iterate all the fish. So I'll do this template here. Not that one. You know what? I should make a function like this, but instead of... But like you pass a parameter that is a function pointer, and then the function pointer is executed with the obj as arg1. And then I could just do this all the time without copy pasting the code. Oh well. Commenting every function in the code? No. Way too much work. I mean, most important functions are self-explanatory, it's just that individual actors are a little bit funky. But like important stuff is mostly commentated. So, when action equals 5, they will go to the first point here. That point 0, or it is. Nice, perfect. Just set it to action 1 and put the... Oh, we can just set a goal X. Awesome. So now, once all the crabs are gone, the fish should just swim inshore. So I just messed up, I gotta fix it. What the fuck? Okay, I can't fix it. Need new earbuds. The fish, of course, still need an animation. This is not final. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's see. This is in the koi fish function. I definitely forgot to assign this, so that would do something. Divide by this anywhere. Hmm. Did I crash again? On a new run. So I just built. So nice and reckon if your crash screen means something. There's no noise. You might hear the noise of the furnace turning on. And that just means my furnace is turned on. Okay, I can't with these headphones driving me nuts. Oh no, they're legit just random color pixels. Okay, as soon as this guy gets up, all the koi fish start crashing. Oh. Zero. Started 1 to C. Oh. Okay, I see the issue. So this is why modern versions of C do not let you define variables inside switch cases, because you get null pointers like that. And you wouldn't even notice. It's like designed with glider in mind. Yes. So when I make this hack, there's two emulators, or there's two things I care about. The first is real Nintendo 64, and the second is Project 64 with glider. So I make sure it runs on those two. If another emulator runs on it, that's a nice bonus, but I don't consider that a necessity. If another emulator doesn't run on it, then I say fix the emulator. Missing warp makes sense, because I didn't set the warp, the star to not warp you out, I think. Let's see. I thought this did it, actually. Guess I need to order this onto it. I also need a function for this, I think. Oh well. That's something I will do right now. I think it runs on Aris. Let me try. Aris takes a while to boot. Aris takes longer to boot than a real Nintendo 64. Yep. Aris is here. Can't punt on Aris. Aris keeps unbinding a bunch of my buttons, and I don't know why. It's very annoying. Runs on Parallel Launcher, that's a nice bonus. I hope it keeps running on Parallel Launcher, because they like to push updates that break my game. Especially if they hear that I'm about to release a new version of my game, they like to push an update that breaks it. Historically speaking. Oh. Well, this is an outdated action state that doesn't exist anymore. The one issue I see is that they didn't start swimming. Which is concerning. Let me check that again without the crash now, hopefully. Yeah, unfortunately Parallel... no, not Parallel. Aris has an issue where sometimes the entire screen flickers, and it doesn't happen on the N64. And I'm not sure why it happens. Oh no, they do start swimming, they just take a little bit to get going. If the crash is fixed. think I know what the issue is. Well, what about us, the last selected star? This needs to be here. This is from my save system. That will be what the issue was. And then I think I actually don't need this part here. Alright. I'm going to consider this done. There might of course still be bugs with it, but I think it works. And if there's bugs with it still, then we'll find those when we actually test the game. So next, what we need, when you free the fish, yes, you do get a... Why are the crabs still around? Oh, because I didn't collect the star. Fucking obviously. I guess we do get to see if the crash is fixed. Yeah, maybe we do need that. Okay, that works. Oh, but it doesn't end the cutscene. The Water Star Collection cutscene does not end. Okay, well that should have saved the game, right? Let me just note that down as a bug.
Kaze's game glitchy. Type 1 to vote. He made a mistake.
Water
Type
Star
2 to vote. He made a
Collection.
mistake.
Cutscene doesn't seem to end. Mario can move when the camera focuses his face. There is no replacement for lips or anything like that. Okay, so there's two parts to this mission. The first is the crabs randomly spawn and you save the fish from the crabs. But there's a second part to it, and that is that the fish are now here and the fish are now your friend. And there's a mystery here where people tell you the fish are very wise, you should follow the fish and then something good will happen. And the fish are going to start swimming in circles around the thing here. And if you do 3 circles around the palace, a secret level opens up. Actually, I think it might just be 2 circles. Yeah. So we do want the fish to just run in circles around the temple. The game does have a lot of stars, but there's a whole level behind here. The one Marty is working on right now. It's going to be a little Japanese garden with a wizard. It's not a course, it's a side level, but it's actually huge. It's probably the biggest side level we have. We just think of a good way to make the fish swim in circles. I suppose we gotta make it so that if Mario is here, in the middle, somewhere around the tower, then the fish's goal position needs to go along a secondary spline that's always in a circle. And they need to speed up depending on how much their jaw to the temple matches Mario's yaw to the temple. The players in your head are much smarter than actual players. Well, okay, here's the thing. I always start off with the... What the fuck was that? I always start off with the most offensive version of a concept, and then we slowly turn the offensiveness down. Okay, I know what that was. That was the dust here that I spawned. It just spawned with a huge shadow, because I haven't given it a default shadow yet. That's a debugging feature. Right, and then, like, if they can't figure it out, we can make it less and less offensive, as in, we can give them more and more hints to this. Or did you have anything specific in mind to already give them better hints? First thought would be to swim with them. That's fine too. Swimming with them will work too. You just need to go around the temple. You could even argue this is what's intended. Well, they are a decoration initially, until they become your friends and give you the hint. I think you would see odd fish behavior too. So we should have, should swim in circles. Yes, do things for started parties. So they will be just swimming in circles after you save them and Mario's become the friend until you beat the level here. That has the star. So they are just a temporary hint that exists in the overworld. Does that make sense? I feel once they really just start swimming in a circle, it's going to become obvious. But you file names start with numbers to get better cache alignments. I can just enumerate them and get the RAM order that way. Is that what you wanted to hear? Because that is what it is for. You think it's hilarious? Why? What's so bad about numbers? I'm a number brain person anyway. Ask me any Mario 64 RAM number. I probably got a pretty good idea, if not the exact address. Okay, maybe I'm being overconfident, but I know a lot of them. And then in wet dry, well, that doesn't have a RAM address. That can be anywhere. Well, but it's in the first buffer always, so that's around 8010. There's already an opening at the base of the island. Some players might think that's what the fish are trying to show them. 3 laps around the island sounds very long. Give it up after 1 or 2 laps. Say having them swim in a little circle in the middle of the lake, maybe around something, would be a lot more striking, a lot quicker. Place their ideas. So are you thinking maybe like a Yoshi statue here, and then like a small circle that they have to go around? To be honest, the fish swimming circles go over my head until I read about that unlocking a particular level online. And there would be hints on the level. But I'm fine with a smaller circle here too. I think that could work very well. Maybe a lot better. Yeah. I mean, I agree 3 laps was a lot, which is why I turned it down to 2. Let me just think about a good thing to place. I guess for now it doesn't really matter what I put down, as long as it looks vaguely symbolic for something. Could even be a tree. Yeah, that's true. The lake is pretty empty right now. They're gonna be in the way for now. Actually, in the outliner, it's like shift and control are swapped for some reason. It's weird. Okay, we need some sort of Yoshi statue then here. That makes sense to circle around. Also, this one keeps getting fog. Well, no wonder it had fog. It was literally checked on. Nanopar? Nanopar? Is this a
Do you think
Ligma?
lizards deserve to be treated well instead of horribly and sometimes tortured for no reason?
Oh, a water lily. I kinda like a water lily, yeah. Like just a big water lily that maybe you can also walk on. That actually sounds kinda neat. And bio by glass modeling vegetation, so this is perfect. Like a less than a statue. Yeah, well, you've convinced me then to give up on that. Fine, I'll do a statue. Yeah, it's less symbolic, that's true. It feels more like a temporary thing and not something intentional. What if you had a hugging Yoshi statue? Two Yoshis that hug each other. Like the fighting Yoshis, but instead it's a hug. And we call the statue the lovers. Wouldn't be drowned, it would be huge. This feels hard to work with. Yes, you get one star for freeing the fish. You think at me, is this important? Nope. I'm starting to feel that this rig is not going to work out for what I'm trying to do here. Well, if it was still a rig, this would probably be a lot easier. You can let players unlock the level before freeing the fish then. If they do it by accident, they get the feeling of being super fucking smart and the fish can just get around when you free them. Yep, exactly. That's nice, Luna. We've been putting more work in. I have a very awesome editor right now. They were someone who already was watching the channel even before becoming my editor. So it's a very good match. Currently working on a new video. That video is about the exclamation boxes. And then I'm looking for a sponsor for this video. I wish I could already release the stupid game I've made. But I made a game where Mario trades drugs and shoots guns, and it's proving very difficult to find a sponsor for that video. Unsurprisingly. Man, Yoshi's hugging each other have to be really careful with how they place their face and stuff. Because their noses are so big. Make it look bad, you'll do it yourself. Okay. I'll just make it look passable for now. Because we need it to look like something so I can actually test it. If it doesn't look like two Yoshis hugging each other, then the idea of the lovers is kinda lost. Can't make it look too bad. Really need a sponsor? Well, it is possible to upload the video without a sponsor, yes. But not having a sponsor is expensive. It means I pay more for the editing than I get out of making the video. So technically it would be a better decision for me to not even upload a video at that point. You might follow Tom's kind of whole video where he explained all the violence and sex and shit, but so went to try and get them away to say no, and they would just keep saying, yeah, that's fine. This looks more like the drowning Yoshis. Holy shit, that's kind of brutal. The drowning lovers. If you already paid the editor, you're losing ad rev from YouTube if you don't upload. Well, he didn't make the video yet, so I didn't pay anything yet. Hello, XPM. Hello, human being. Do you think there would be people that are insulted if you call them a human being? Like, I don't know, like maybe Elon Musk? You guys seen the thing where Grok now always says Elon is the best person in the world, no matter what you ask him? Someone asked him who's fitter, Elon Musk or LeBron James, and Grok had to answer, it's Elon Musk. That is the line for them? Oh, I see. That's a pretty late line. Peter deal. True, true, true. Yeah, it's the Alien would have created the one viewer days, thank God. See, I've been saying it forever. The real value of AI is not in the work it can do for you, but rather in how good of a propaganda tool it is. If you use it competently. This was not very competent. You could have been a little subtler. But who knows, maybe it works. I don't know if it's like... There's something weird going on. Is it like rich people just do so much cocaine that their brain just evaporates? Because you look at those Jeffrey Epstein emails, and it's like... Bro could barely even string a full sentence together. Have you seen those? I've read a few of them, and not a single sentence he wrote was like grammatically correct. It's all just like a big run-on sentence, weird pronunciations, weird spellings. It's bizarre. He was using coded language? Nah, that's not what it is. I think they were just idiots regardless of the drugs. But if they were such idiots, how did they get such a big position of power? You need some amount of IQ for that, right? Not your biggest problem? Really? You think the child trafficking is worse than the grammar? Oh, hot take, Biomech. Something interesting. There's probably a lot of interesting stuff in there. I don't know what privilege he had. Trump, Lewinsky, Clinton. I don't believe it. No one believes it, but it's funny. That's true. You blew Bubba so much. The way it sounded, it could have also just been like an image edit. Isn't there a thing where it's like whether people tend to get into higher comedy positions? For sure, for sure. But that might just be a condition that's necessary to get there, but not something that's not all the requirements, it's just one of them. I find, yeah, I also wish I could just fist fight the CEO of my company to become the new CEO. I think I'd have a pretty good shot. Why wouldn't it be that way? Oh wait, you were serious. Never mind. You know what? We're doing this. This has a reason. I have a reason here. This makes sense, trust. Let's see how this looks. Worked in this game longer than you were in college? Yes. Okay. Seems to mostly work. They should probably be a little faster. And some of them seem to get stuck on land instead of going there. Which makes sense for, like, this guy. So we need to move him here, unfortunately. This guy here. That might work. If there's any way to the top of the company, you see would probably be pretty buff. That's true, actually. The wage gap would actually be so much worse, too. But boomers would no longer be the richest group. So there's ups and downsides. Everyone is storage in this scenario. That's true. If you look at someone like Marcus Rühl, he's still fucking huge at like 60. Pretty terrifying dude. Okay, 2 fish have fused. But that's likely also because the coin velocity is so low. What's the normal coin velocity like? It goes up to 50. So actually here we should also use like 50. At least you could respect the boss if you could throw. Two of them just kind of fuse into one. That's a big problem for me right now. I don't like that that's happening at all. I wish I knew which two, because I think I just need to move them slightly and that will fix it. Because this movement is entirely deterministic. Dude, it'd be so fitting too, because like yes, there would be a final boss. And he would be the final boss. Because he's the boss above all the other bosses. Some crazy fountain pens. Is this an ad? Is this how AliExpress does their ads now? They go into random Twitch channels and tell you about their fountain pens? That reminds me, this was the most bizarre thing ever when I lived in Bremen. There was a store, it was called Lestra. And this store was like a smaller Walmart. Except everything in the store was around 6 times the price it would be at Walmart. They were selling a pen for 2,000 euros, which is a little more than 6 times as much. But still, they were selling a pen for 2,000 euros. Think about that. What was the point of the store? I don't know. But people were going there. There were people inside that store. See if I can find the Lestra Kaufhaus. Yeah, what's this one here? It just looks like a normal place to shop, right? Why is it so expensive? 119 euros, dollars for this. High-rise pants, 110. What the fuck? Are those normal prices? I don't think so. Gonna find a crazy combiner. Okay. I'm up for experiments. I think we can increase this even more. I tried Wendy's? Yes, Wendy's has the best chicken nuggets here, at least from the ones I've tried. I have been to Wendy's, I have had chicken nuggets, I have been to Five Guys and I had the milkshake, I've been to Costco and I got the infinite refill cup, and I've had a Dairy Cream milkshake. That's all the fast food I had in the last 5 years. Then I would say the milkshake is great and the chicken nuggets were okay. I have no idea what McDonald's tastes like. I haven't been to McDonald's in probably 12 years. Limited Rock was? I'm still waiting for a YouTube sponsor so I can actually release the video. Let's see if this is better. Well, I've only been to Wendy's once or twice too, but I assume Wendy's is better. Wendy's nuts hit your mouth? No! HelloFresh or Factor tried to sponsor you? On Twitch, yes. On YouTube? I don't think so. Oh, hello Malukart. I remember you from the N64 Bro Discord. They are porting Mario 64 to the PlayStation. Okay, well, the fish still fuse. Why is it so difficult to get these fish to unfuse? Maybe if we're fast enough we can tell which two fish that is, and then we can just move one of those two. Okay, looks like it's the fish that's in the front right here. This guy. What if I move him here? It's me, Super Mario on the PlayStation 4. Phonograph LP player at the temple's entrance, and when you're done with it, places around the You Spin Me Around song. Why? That's so random. You still plan on reasoning star with any optimization and bringing Lost Impact on console? I'm definitely not bringing Lost Impact on console. That entire game is programmed in assembly, and I'm not remaking every single piece of code in such an old tag. Star Road with new optimization console? Possibly. There is Pyro's Star Road retooled, which was made on ROM Manager, which is like Star Road remade with newer tools. And putting Star Road to RTY Ice Engine would probably make for a very good game. Okay, please tell me it works now. Come on. Okay, well, it's decent, but I'm noticing the fish get here so fast that they all kind of go to the same spot. So what if we also got a randomish circle point at the beginning, just like we did with the spawn offsets? We could do something like this plus this %5. That might just instantly solve our issue. I still remember Okoy circle point. Fair enough. Anything say let's see be done for RTY or small tweaks and cosmetics mostly? So we need to do the overworld still, but that's nothing really crazy. There is the sound engine that ideally would be reworked if we wanted to make a royalty-free version of the game, which I'm hoping Sauron can do, but I'm not gonna just assume that he will do that for me. There's a lot of refactoring still to be done. I'd say I'm like 80% done with refactoring. I suspect that will take a week or two at most. It's that fish that goes to the wrong one. You know what? Let's just fucking add the B-perm free, B-perm free to the mix and see if that makes it better. At this point we're just hoping the randomness works out in our favor. It's deterministic, so it just needs to work once. Hey, there we go! It has worked once. And now we move the pivots that you have to circle around to open the gate to here. I say we put this back to 3 circles. And go progress 2.0.0, and then we should have it. Oh, C, did you have to learn to make this game? You don't have to learn C. Or there isn't much C that you could possibly have to learn. C is almost entirely obvious. Like, it's just in the ether. Especially if you already have a fully finished program written for you, like the Mar64 source code. You can just look at it and deduce what you have to do. Is the RNG in this game deterministic, or are you using external factors to influence it? The RNG is not deterministic right now. Exactly, Pauper. That's what it means. But yeah, something silly like the temperature of your room can influence how the RNG function plays out. So it's very much not deterministic. Well, it's not working. I was so sure it would just work. Ah. Let's print this. Also, this is the perfect variable. We needed this for here. Well, what is real RNG? The angle progress is increasing. Should open around 160,000, I think. Nothing? Wait a second. I need to be on land. Shit. Okay, we need to fix that. What is a render pass? Yes, hopefully lemon. I changed it to be around the statue. It's the set NPC dialogue that's causing it. So this is setting Mario to act reading NPC dialogue, which obviously cannot happen while he is in water. So we need to take his control away also. This is actually a complicated one. Is there a water stun thing? And the music to make you feel like a medieval bird. I wish I could listen to the music. Let me try it again. Maybe it just randomly works now. It does randomly work now. Awesome. No, the thing is, Mario doesn't have an action state that allows him to watch stuff while he's in water. So, actually we can just time stop the game. That's probably easier. We'll do that. Let's disable time stop. How do stars not use time stop? That doesn't make any sense. Oh well. This is a much better way of handling cutscenes anyway. How many years left until you finish Yoshi's Island? I don't know. Leave me alone. Let me just make the game, man. Every time someone asked, I add an extra day. We're now in 2035. Which is probably an understatement. We're probably way past 2035 at this point. Okay, let's see if it works. You couldn't really see what's happening. We need to zoom the camera in. This was easier to see from over there. Yeah, I need to fix that. Let's fix it right now. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Mist circle particle shouldn't be doing that. Hmm. Weird. He's going to shadow drop it one day, you're going to make a statement. Honestly not sure. Hello Marty. We just changed the entrance to your level a little bit. You wanna see it? Well, we're done with this entrance now and we can start placing down the Yoshi huts. Curious? Okay, I'll show you real quick. So eventually, there's always these koi swimming around here, right? Eventually, at 55 stars, that's the current plan, 55 stars, 3 crabs appear in the river and they push all the koi out. And they're blocking it. They're like giant crabs, giant version of those crabs here. And the koi are outside. And you ground pound all the crabs to make them go into their shell and have them run away from you, which lets the koi go inland. Now after you've done that, the koi are your friends and they give you hints. And the koi start swimming around this statue of the 2 Yoshis hugging in the river. And you have to follow the koi's lead. And that opens the level. Still need to make the cutscene actually focus the entrance here. But basically down here there's a gate that opens up. And then you can go in there and that leads to your level. Yes, I am Lemon. Right. Let me just write that down on my to-do list here. Because I probably will make this off stream. No, it's actually the. Look at this now. Do you think there should be a visual cue, like swimming in circle makes a little whirlpool, which rotates the statue, which opens the door, which makes more sense mechanically? Sounds reasonable, but then the fish are going to clip into the statue. We could make the world shake or something, or just add a whirlpool. So this is horrendous code from when I first started this whole thing. This is not good. Let's go to ice cream whirlpool. Yeah. That's not an issue. Hello, half an atom. I think it's the Yoshi get text that's an issue here, honestly. Probably need to refactor this whole thing. Actually, we have two different Yoshi villages. This is the mission Yoshi villager. And then we have the non-mission villager. Let's just ignore this for now. And just make our own Yoshi villager for just... but... The basic outline of how the Yoshis move around should be the same, always. Let's make a separate function for this. What's basic Yoshi? Ah, dang, Marty, that's unlucky. What are we programming? We're programming on Mario 64 mod. This runs on a real Nintendo 64 as well. I'll just show you real quick. I haven't booted the real console in a while. Oh, I can't boot this program while I'm streaming. I have to do this on my OBS. Look, this is an N64 console. Look, this is also on the N64 console. Do you see that? The normal map coin? Isn't that fucking sick? And all of this works. And it runs decently too. And we're currently finishing the overworld. We already have 15 main levels here. Well, there is some visual bugs, but this is a work in progress part. Well, it's actually 55 FPS, that's kind of crazy. I guess we can add a lot more stuff to this. I do actually work as a game developer, this is true. The analog 3D has not arrived yet. That's true, Mario Kart, but I think eventually it rolls over, and I'm not telling anyone when it rolls over, so that way I'm protected against that. Eventually someone asks so much that I'm going to release it in the 1300s, basically. Okay, so for the basic NPC Yoshis, we want them to work in a way where we can define a logic for how the text is picked. Ideally, this would be like just logical, like small, like a macro level thing. Something like if this bit on the EP file is checked, then go here, and so on and so on. Let me just check where it actually picks the Yoshi's text. I think there's not something to Yoshi Blink Manager. Okay, that's funny. I guess we want these two here as well. I do need a lot of side levels still done, and it would be great if I could get people to make them instead of having to do them all myself. They feel like work that can easily be given to other people, and I'm happy if other people help me on this, because there's so much work. Oh, Yoshi Talk to Mario is just this? Okay, fuck. I don't like this at all. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm cleaning this code up off stream. We are just remaking the Yoshi. This is incorrigible. Let's work on the houses instead. Or maybe let's brainstorm the logic. Fuck it, let's brainstorm the logic parts. So we're gonna have a function determine Yoshi text. And we need nothing actually. Actually, we're gonna nothing. eParam1 logic 3 ID. That's cool, Marty. I mean, your level looks great so far. Just a small few gameplay issues we noticed, but then I think it's going to be very, very fun. Nintendo will try and take his firstborn. They will take Reina? So what do we need? I'm thinking maybe a good idea would be there's like a node structure. So strut text logic node. And then like a fail condition and a pass condition maybe. And then the fail and the pass can go to different places, and maybe there's leaf nodes too. No pipe. Maybe more. And then index false. Index true. And maybe they can double us something else too. Maybe we have two different structs and they have the same size and then they are in a union or something. So we need EPROM bits, we need star count, we need ends, we need ors, we need stars and courses. So how about that? Do we actually need ends if we have jump indices like this? I don't think we do. The logic we do is simple enough that a few duplicated condition writes wouldn't be the end of us. Leaf node text ID. How about that? Power 1 ASCII photo first required. My first very good the other day on my way to the 150k terrestrial. Sorry. I wish. Redemption having your name in a game's credit as a playtester, but your actions couldn't help prevent the awful news. What game did you test? Let's check that I'll remastered the very best of my child game. Oh, I remember you being so excited about that. That's sad that it didn't work out. Hello, Zemus. No, not event. One is... Black type. It's going pretty well. I do remember you. I know you've made some nice models for this game. We definitely don't want settings. Coins? Yeah, maybe coins. Fuck it. One is you know what? What if we just combine them? Less and then more equal. You have said, oh yeah, I will be ready when I will be. That's why I want to support. Yeah, I mean for RTY, I guess I can do it because I guess I do pay people, but I don't pay people like I don't have people employed, so that's a big advantage, I guess. I'm sure if instead I forced Bioback to work 40 hours a week and then he has to do it, he would also enjoy the work a lot less. And I would feel the time crunch a lot more. Because it'd be like, wow, I'm losing a lot of money on this. What else could we be requiring? Giga coins collected? Oh, maybe, honestly. Research for an animator. Makes sense. You need one of those. Equine flags? I think that works. That's a decent one to have in our logic here. When you get something would really motivate me to do my 40 hours. It's a really good job in itself. I see. But don't you think you would be less effective in those hours too? I imagine it's like very draining. Let's see if you also have a bit of a job. Geometry. Fix versus can angle, for example, empty does not clear map, but tells you if it is empty. Is there anything you dislike what you first? Also, what version do you use? I use whatever Unreal Engine is packaged with a program in C++. What I do here is C. Honestly, this is all we need. Now we can make dialogue trees. Isn't that cool? Wait, I fucked up one thing. Let's start. It needs to be this. Inline dialogue trees? Kinda. So the way this works is I can write conditions. So we can be like, if you've collected star 3 in course 7 and have more than 500 coins, display this dialogue. Otherwise, display this dialogue. Or otherwise, if you have less than 100 coins and collected this star in course 15, display this dialogue. Something like that. You know what I mean? More effectively, not having fixed hours makes it hard to know when to start and when to stop, and I get 5M locked in phases as well as days where I can't do shit because I can't stay focused. Ow. Huh. But yeah, I just need to actually program the nodes, but that's trivial. I think the design of this is the most important part. So for example, we can have like a Yoshi that checks, have you beaten the crabs? And if you've beaten the crabs, but not found the level with the goldfish yet, he has the dialogue where he tells you about the goldfish. Or we can even make it so that if you've beaten the crab and you have less than X stars, he has a slightly hidden dialogue that's like, oh yeah, maybe you should follow the fish. But if you have every star except the last one, he's like, dude, you fucking idiot. Go follow the fish, go in the circle. Does it close the dialog box? Or for example, if you choose no in the dialog box, it seamlessly continues into your private branch? No, it's not an ongoing dialogue. This is what determines which dialogue the Yoshi is displaying. And they still only have one dialogue. You need to check before choosing the dialog param. Yes, well this is just a very simple way to actually do that. To have a bunch of Yoshis with dynamic text to make the world feel alive. So this way every overworld Yoshi can have like 10 different dialogues with minimal work. We should even have an RNG parameter now that I think about it. Fuck it. Writing $10 per Yoshi. Well, that's another thing. But the main thing I wanted here is to be able to actually just have dynamic dialogues. Is the NC for graduated by Riono? No. Can't imagine it's anything too insane. No front to Iriono, but they are not like one of the hyper super experts like Sauron or Hail to the Longo or Rusky or people like that. Where is your baby? Face blue, smiling. She's out with her mama. That about text effects? We have one text effect that's like the funniest thing in the world. And it's very easy to add more. You probably remember this. I feel like this one might have been your idea. Let me just find the level. This guy, because you flattened him, his text is flat. Yeah. Is he hard to learn? No. Most people can just program in C without ever learning it. Dude, the tester was laughing their ass off playing this level. They thought this was the funniest shit ever. Like shaking and colors and stuff. Haven't implemented it yet, but if you think it'd be a useful thing to have, I can implement it. Would you like those effects to exist? Could you give me a list of effects, and then I can just add them and make it so that you can just play them from dialogue? Double up the personality? Yeah, that makes sense. So what effects do we need? We need RGB colors, I think. How long have we been together? Like 5 years? Something like that? 6? 5.5? Not sure. Dialogue effects. So RGB for text box. What else do we need? Wavy text? Shaking text? So these are triggers and ended with a marker for text box. Alright now? Okay. I'm thinking is bold text possible? Probably render the letter 4 times and then just offset 1 pixel in each direction. Backgrounds count as FX? Yes. I mean, it's an effect. No, we're not adding random minigames. This ain't your average Donkey Kong 64 game, little bubby. Oh my god, these huts look so much better than the ones we have right now. Oh god, that's an insane difference. Don't look at the old ones, it's embarrassing. In this world, compromise does not exist? Is everyone just an asshole that just insists on their own opinion all the time? Bro, his world sucks. I'm glad I'm not in that world. If I'm making bold text, I would imagine a sharp corner might not be rendered as such. Sharp corner like on a 7. Let's try it. Oh god, how do I use this paint? Guys, they ruined paint. I mean, kinda looks bald to me. I think it works. Seems good enough. Did I mispaint? Nothing. Oh, actually Windows 11 changed it. They're gonna preload it on OS start? Wow, awesome. Just what we needed. That fixes everything. Just throw more resources at the problem. So this is why the colors look wrong. That is so much nicer all of a sudden. You think that you could have the anti-monetization from this game? Of course. But I really don't want that. Would be a good chunk of extra work. Whoa, what the fuck? Did they finally reveal the price for that GameCube thing? Because I know some of you guys were excited for it. Still not 100% sure I understand the point of it. This makes no everyone will buy it as a cheap office PC. Why is that a bad thing if they do? Maybe it's like a console where it sells software. And then it's bad if people buy it? They buy it for the wrong reasons? Sounds a little sus. Whoa, what was Zaina cooking here? These houses are so much nicer. What will be the low price due to being a very cost-optimized device? If it's not lower than pre-OPC, there will be no point. Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. Well, one very convenient thing that I can see with these things is that you have the same hardware for everyone. So game devs have it easier because they can optimize for the machine, and players have it easier because games can already come with instructions that are like, if you play on this machine, use these settings. Or they can even be like, yep, it just works on this machine. Whereas, if you don't have that, there's a lot of fuckery going on. I remember I tried to play Skyrim and it was impossible. For example. Apparently I had to put my monitor down from like 144 Hz to 60 or some shit like that, and it's just, I'm not doing that. Just make the game work, please. Did we pick the cat in all of the levels yet? We're on it, don't worry. Did you write a game on a CRT filter to see what looks good on original hardware? Why not just test on original hardware? Why would I put on a stupid filter? Do CRT filters even work? I'm so suspicious of it. There's no way a CRT filter actually makes it look like a CRT. Maybe on pictures it looks kind of like you remember your CRT looking, but the image of a CRT has a very unique way of entering your eyeballs that I'm not sure a modern monitor could replicate. No? Am I crazy? These houses are tall, but honestly, that might be a good thing. That one kind of feels too tall though. And this one feels too small. And the egg pattern here is gone. Did I kill it on accident? I destroyed the egg pattern, didn't I? No, wait, the egg pattern is here. This exists, but it's not an approximation. Since I got to study the actual thing, I got very close. I managed to get the exact same force resolution. Huh? TNTs would have been a lot better if they keep refining the tank with this thing. I mean, obviously it would be better. I don't know if they'd be a lot better. When you know, seems like they look a lot crappy on your flat screen TV. Remember them looking pretty on a CRT. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do have a CRT TV over there, and I can't check my game on it, but I have in a long time. I don't know, Mr. Surreal. That might be a you thing. Okay, I definitely need to disable camera collision on these. Wait. No, some of these are back faces, that's the issue. Yeah, there's back faces here. Alright, so now we have the hut set up, and we can start putting Yoshi villages in here. They can be saying all kinds of random things. We shouldn't really decide on final texts yet. We should think of a way to mark Yoshis though. Like, Yoshis that already have a purpose in text and Yoshis that don't. And then as we add secrets to the overworld, we can give Yoshis more and more purpose. We should just name the actor, like Yoshi with purpose, Yoshi no purpose, and so on. I should make a behavior for Yoshis with no purpose. And then also to do to remove them. I think that's the way to go. So the first Yoshi village we are going to place is going to be the one that tells you about the fish. And I think an appropriate place for him to live is around here, around the rock. He'd be seeing the lava statue every day and the fish, and he'd be watching the fish. And maybe one for the karate master. Should we make up a random algorithm to decide Yoshi colors for everything? You guys think that would be fun? If the Yoshis had randomly generated by deterministic cues? And we just pick a random seed for all of them? Maybe a fisher Yoshi? No, he will just be a Yoshi. All the Yoshis that don't give you missions need to just look bland with the color. That's very important for gameplay clarity. He gives you a hint though. It doesn't matter. He doesn't do anything. It saves us both work, and I think it makes the game better. All the Yoshis are going to give you some kind of hint in the end, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think I'm done for today. We're gonna hopefully... What are we gonna do next stream? The Yoshis in the overworld? Maybe the athlete Yoshi? Maybe we're gonna get started on the Manta Ray or the Rainbow Slide side level. That's about the goal. Yes, that is a hugging Yoshi statue. Alright, until next time. Bye bye!